This is my portfolio project presentation for Nucamp Minneapolis Bootcamp. The goal of my project was to build a website that had an online store and a shopping cart. The technology that I used was React for the front end and Node.js with MongoDB and Mongoose for the back end. I'm going to show the front end of my application first, and then I'm going to show the back end of my application using Postman. My website has 4 pages: Home, Shop, About, and Contact Us. It's for a fictional Halloween-themed e-commerce store as well as an event center. And there are 3 parts of the front end that are going to be integrated into the back end that I've already built out the endpoints for in Node.js, and I will demonstrate again with Postman. The 3 things are, the first one is sign in and sign up for the user, a shopping cart that the customer will be able to add with the add to cart buttons, and a contact us form. Moving to Postman, I'll show you a couple of endpoints and requests. Initially, if I try to do a GET request on the shopping cart, it should show that I'm not authenticated because I'm not currently signed in. So I'm using basic authentication here. If I do a post request to the login, that should work. Now I'm authenticated. And if I go back and do GET request, it'll show, while empty, it did indeed go through. And then I'm also going to demonstrate a post request to the cart. So say the user wants to purchase a pumpkin lantern set. I'm going to go ahead and do a post request. This should work. If I go back to GET, you'll see that that has been added to the database. And finally, I'll just demonstrate a delete request as well, which went ahead and deleted what I just added. And as you can see, the database is once again empty. I built out endpoints for both the shopping cart as well as the contact form, and then again the sign in and sign up for the user as well. Challenges that I ran into for the front end. The challenge that I was running into is that each of the different components were looking pretty outdated and clunky because of the default background color. And really the solution to that was in playing around with the code. I realized that it might be possible to make the background colors transparent, and that allowed me to set just one uniform background image for the entire website, and really helped to kind of modernize the look of it. And so again, the main solution to that was really in playing around with the code. It started to feel more intuitive, and then ultimately I kind of figured that one out on my own. For the back end, the challenge that I ran into, the biggest one was understanding and using the HTTP methods, especially the syntax. And the solution to that was consulting the documentation. That was not something I was going to figure out on my own. Ultimately, consulting documentation, especially for the different middleware as well, is really key, and learning how to read and interpret that. And so I was able to kind of master the syntax by looking at the documentation and really through practicing as well. And then finally, I'm going to showcase a piece of code that I found most interesting. What I found most interesting was the the schema and model code. The reason I really enjoyed that and found it interesting is because it helped me conceptualize the backend and really the real-world application of that. And so as you can see, this is my cart schema, and here's the model. At the end of the day, I really enjoyed this project. I learned a ton, and my next goal is to integrate the front end and the back end so that the user can actually send the different requests themselves. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.